Hello, you are welcome to Classic Fashion Design Academy YouTube channel. My name is Kehinde Oluwabukola Ogundare, Creative Director, Classic Fashion Design Academy. On this channel, I'll be posting videos on pattern drafting and clothing construction. This is our beginner series. In this video, we'll be looking at some patterning tools, patterning terms, and patterning symbols. Please love, share, and subscribe. And don't forget to hit the notification bell so that each time I drop video, you can get notified. In case you wonder what a pattern is, this is just a simple template from which you get your variation of the signs. This is a skirt template. This is a skirt pattern. Though you create your pattern by taking the measurement of yourself or of a dress form. Then you express the measurement on a template. The template can be a brown paper like this, or calico, or any other material that you can draft your pattern on. You just use your measurement to create the design, the pattern on the paper. Then you cut it out. This is a skirt pattern. This pattern is what you place on your fabric to cut out your design. There are different methods of altering your pattern that helps you to come up with your design. The pattern is just a guide. It's just a guide, like a foundation guide for creating your design. That is just what the simple definition of pattern is about. In our next video, I'm going to give you detailed explanation on pattern drafting. Now let's get straight into some of the patterning tools. For you to create the pattern, you need to have all these tools. You have your measuring tape, your rulers. There are different rulers. Then you have your French curves. There are different curves as well. What all this does is just to help you to give shape to whatever you are drafting. Like your hip side now, this will help you to get the curve. There are different types of French curves as well. And the measuring tapes, the rulers, the French curves, they are all parts of the patterning tools. Then you have your scissors. There are different types of scissors as well. For you to draft pattern, at least you need like 2 scissors, because you will need a scissors to be cutting the paper, and you also need another scissors to cut your fabric. The scissors you are using to cut paper, you don't use it to cut your fabric because it can easily get blunt. Then you need your pins. Your pins should be on the pin pad. Then you need your thumb pins. This helps to fix your paper on the patterning table. Then you need your masking tape. It also helps to fix your patterns together, especially when you get into the slash and spread method. Then you need pencils, you need cleaner, you need tailor chalk, you need your seam ripper, you need thread, and so on. But these are just the basic tools for you to draft the pattern. There are other ones that perform similar functions as well. For easy understanding of the patterning tools, it's better we put them into various classifications according to their uses. Like the first set of the measuring set, in that we have the measuring devices, like your tape rule, your ruler, and the rest. Those are under the measuring devices. Then secondly, we have the marking devices. That helps to place your marks on the pattern, so that it helps you to match it when you are putting your fabrics together. Like you have the tailor's chalk, the pencil, the tracing wheel, and the rest. Those are the marking devices. Then you also have the drafting devices. These are the tools that helps you to bring out your pattern on your to draft it on your patterning table. You have your patterning table, your French curve, the brown paper, your pencil, your cleaner, and the thumb pins. Those are your drafting devices. Then you also have the cutting devices, your scissors, and your trimming scissors, the cutting table, and the rest. Like I said earlier, you should have up to two, three scissors, the one for cutting fabric and the one for cutting paper. Then you also have the sewing devices like your needles, your pins, your seam ripper, your threads, and the rest. Lastly, we have the finishing devices. That's your ironing table or iron board. Then your iron etc. It's better to work with a steaming iron, and if you cannot get that, just get a container so that you can wet as you iron. These are some of the patterning terms you should get used to if you want to work with patterns. Now we have the center front, CF, center back, CB, across back, AC.B, across front, AC.F, round neck, RN, round waist, RW, round hip, RH, round arm, RA, chest, CH, chest point, CH.P, waist point, WP, hip point, HP, bust point, BP, then NP, neck point, SP, shoulder point, SH, shoulder, HL, hemline, SS, side seam. Now, it's just very simple to understand this. Just take a quick look at these few basic patterns. These are the upper bodice pattern. This is the front bodice pattern. This is the back bodice pattern. Then you have the skirt pattern, the front pattern for the skirt, the back skirt pattern. Then this is what your sleeve pattern looks like. Let's look at each of these and relate them with these terms. This is the center front for the front upper pattern. That is where you see the CF. So anytime you see this on a pattern like this, you know that this is the center front. If you see CB, this is the center back. From this pattern, try and differentiate the difference between the front and the back. The back has a deeper neck at the front. The back neck is not so deep. This is the neck point for the back. This is the neck point for the front. This is the shoulder point for the front. This is the shoulder point for the back. This is your underarm point. This is the bust point where you have your nipple. This is the waist point. I hope you are getting that. This is your across back. This is your across front, which is also the chest line. This is also the back line. Then you also have your waistline on the skirt. This is also your waistline. This is the center front for the skirt, the front pattern. This is the center back. This is your hip line, also your hip point. This is the hemming line. That is the hemline of the skirt. You can also have the hemline of your blouse. This is the hemline of the sleeve. Your round arm. This is your round arm on the sleeve. So you can see that with time you get used to all these terms. Just know that each time you have a pattern, maybe a soft blouse bodice pattern, a skirt pattern or sleeve pattern, these are just the basic patterns. You should be able to relate with all these abbreviations when you see them. It helps you to interpret your design. It helps you to interpret your pattern. Now these are the patterning symbols that you should get used to if you want to understand and interpret your patterns very well. There is more than this, but these are the major ones. Now, the first one is the grain line. A straight line, either vertical or horizontal, with a double-ended arrow simply means grain line. It means that you have to place your pattern parallel to the selvage of the fabric. When you are sewing, you don't place pattern on fabric anyhow. The way you place your pattern on fabric will determine the fit of whatever you are sewing after you are finished sewing, making after you are finished sewing it. So you have to be careful with the way you place your pattern. So all these symbols tells you how to place your pattern on the fabric before you cut it. So when you see this, it simply tells you to place your pattern parallel to the selvage. I will give a better explanation on that. Now the second one is saying place your fabric on fold. This is the symbol, a straight line, then you drop it before you now have the arrows. It's telling you that you place your fabric on fold. Let's check how this look on the pattern. Now, this is a pattern. This is a pattern of the front bodice pattern, the upper part, and this is also a skirt pattern. This is the grain line symbol. It's telling you that this pattern, you have to place it parallel to the selvage. It means this is how, is the lengthwise of the garment. I mean the lengthwise of any design you are working on. This is the lengthwise of the pattern. So this is how you must place it parallel to the selvage of the fabric. Then this one is telling you that the fabric has to be on fold before you place this pattern on it. It's telling you that your fabric has to be on fold because before you place your pattern on it. This is the symbol. This symbol simply means unfold. This one means grain line. Most of the time, the pattern is drafted with a quarter of the measurement. Like if you are looking at this skirt pattern, this is the center front, and this is a quarter of the measurement. So your fabric has to be on fold while you place your pattern on it, so that after cutting, you can have the full front. So that is what this symbol means. Please, I want to show you the practical demonstration of these two symbols on the fabric before we continue. Now, on this skirt pattern, you can see the grain line symbol. So when you see the grain line symbol on your pattern like this is how you are going to place it on the fabric. Like I said, that the grain line is meant to be parallel to the selvage of the fabric. The selvage of the fabric is simply the tightly woven finished edge of the fabric, where you have the brand name inscribed. All fabric has the selvage edge. This is it. So the tightly woven finished ends of the fabric on both sides. That is the selvage edge. So when you see that and you see it on the pattern, it's telling you to, you check out for where you have the selvage. This is the selvage. And it means this is how you have to place your pattern. This is the skirt pattern. It means this is how you have to place your pattern and cut. You are placing it parallel to the selvage. As you can see, this is the skirt pattern. This is the line. This is the grain line. It's meant to be parallel to the selvage edge. So the distance between your grain line and the selvage edge should be the same. From here to here, if you have 2 inches, 2 inches, 2 inches, let it be the same distance. Let it be the same distance so that when you cut, it can be equal. And it's also denote the lengthwise of your fabric. So when you cut this way, it makes the fabric, the after sewing, the design will sit well on the body. So that is the meaning of this symbol. At times you go this way probably to give your zip allowance or to fix where you have your buttonhole. So this is parallel to the selvage. This is parallel to the selvage. You may and you may not have to cut through it. Thank you. Now, this is the second symbol, which means unfold. Look at it. The straight line, then you cross it along before you now have the arrow. So this simply means that the fabric has to be unfold before you place your pattern on it. Like I said, if you look at this pattern, you can see that it's representing a quarter of the skirt measurement. It will just be from this is the center. It will just be from this, you can see it only cover a quarter of my skirt pattern, because we still have the back and this other half part uncovered. So what you are going to do to interpret this symbol is that your fabric, like this fabric has to be on fold. The fabric has to, this is how it has to go. It has to be on fold. You don't leave it as a single sheet and place your pattern and cut. The fabric has to be on fold. And this is a term or a symbol that you need to get used to, because most of the time, whatever you are cutting has to be on fold, because it helps you to get the other part. Because, and another reason is that the pattern making comes like in a quarter of the measurement. Look at it. You can see, like I explained, it's not the full front. So you are going to have your fabric on fold. Your fabric has to be on fold. And this also helps you not to waste your fabric. You just have to place your fabric on fold according to the parameter of the pattern you want to place on it to cut. The only thing is that you may leave a little bit of excess to have for you to have your seam allowance. That's all. If you need seam allowance, you leave a little bit. You don't fold in excess of your pattern to avoid wasting your fabric anyhow. Like this is a skirt. You can see that we have placed the fabric on fold. Don't leave it as a single sheet. You are going to be doing that most of the time. Your fabric has to be on fold. Your fabric has to be on fold. You have to do that most of the time. And when you fold it, then you place your pattern on it. Don't forget to leave a little bit of excess where you are going to have your seam allowance. So now the fabric is on fold, we have placed the pattern on it. Then the way it is now, it's a skirt pattern. We can leave a little bit at the hemline for us to fold the finishing. You can leave a little bit at the side as well for you to have your seam allowance, depending on like half inch, 1 inch is enough a seam allowance. So you cut. You cut following the shape of the pattern. Make sure that you follow the shape of the pattern. You can only cut around it and giving it a little bit of excess as sewing around. Now when we are done cutting, this is it. That is when you now have the full front of the pattern. Of the fabric. You can see, if we did not fold it into two, we are only going to have a quarter this way, and that will not make the whole of the skirt. But when you place your fabric on fold, you can have the full front of the skirt, the sign. This symbol or sign simply represents buttonholes. So when you see this sign on the pattern, it means at that particular spot, there's going to be a buttonhole there, or there's going to be a button there. It can be vertical, it can be horizontal, and it also tells the width or the wideness of the button, the size of the button that should fit into a particular piece of the garment. So this simply represents buttonholes, just like you have it on this pattern. You can see it can be vertical, it can be horizontal. So when you see this on the pattern, it means there is going to be buttonhole there. So that is what that means. Then the stitching line. When you see these broken lines, represent with dots, 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 dots. It represents the stitching line. It means you are going to sew along that line. This is the broken line. It means you are going to sew along this line. Probably after placing your fabric on fold, you have cut it then you now want to stitch it. So this dot 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 represents the line on which you are going to sew. So that is the essence of that symbol. Now, the next one is the cutting line. It's represented with a thick line. Then at the edge of it, you see scissors. It's represent the line through which you are cutting through that line. You are cutting through that line. That is what you are looking at here on this pattern. That is the scissors. It means you are cutting through this line. Just like we place our skirt pattern on the fabric the other time and we cut. So that is the cutting line, the line through which you are going to cut the paper. That is right around, a little bit away from your pattern, just to give you some sewing allowance or some sewing allowance. So that is what that does for you. So this symbol is telling you cut along that line. Then another symbol is the dart. Look at this. Dart is just like a V shape. If you look at this, is a full leg dart. This you see on a gown or on a dress because it's running from the upper part. This is your midline, probably around your waistline. So this is the upper part, this is the lower part. This can be around on the skirt or trouser, then this is the upper part. This half is mostly found on skirts or on trouser. Most of the time, the length of the dart is 4 inches or around 10 cm averagely. That is the average length of the dart on skirt. If it's going to be on a gown, it may be around 8 inches. It may be around from the waistline up, from the waistline down. That is the average length of the dart. And the dart is the excess you pick in order to give fitting to a garment. You pick it around the waistline, you pick it around the underbust just to give shape or fitting to whatever garment you are making. You can pick it also on trouser. So that is that. This is what the dart looks like, and it has the midline. From this midline is representing where the fold comes from. So for example, if you want to make a skirt, at times you have to introduce that allowance. That is DA, abbreviation, DA, dart allowance. For example, if you are adding like 1 inch dart allowance, it means you are going to shear it on both sides. This place is going to be 0.5, this place is going to be 0.5. If you are adding like 2 inches allowance, it means it's going to be 1 inch here, 1 inch here. So your dart must have a midline that helps you to divide whatever allowance you are adding into two. So that is the dart leg and the midline and the dart legs. So this is what the dart looks like. And this is the dart on the skirt. You can see it. This is the midline of the dart. This is you fold it with your iron just to form a crease on the fabric, then you sew it out. In our subsequent videos, we will see how to pick dart on the fabric. So that is the dart. So when you see this, as you can also see it here, you can see that is the dart, that is that. So when you see that, it means there's going to be a dart. You are going to pick that. So that when you are drafting the pattern from the onset, you make you make room for the dart allowance. So that is the essence of this symbol. Don't forget, that is the excess that you pick in order to give fitting to whatever you are sewing. Then the next one is notches. This is what notch look like a tiny bead, tiny bead or triangle. That is what the notch looks like. So you just fold whatever you are cutting into two and gently use a scissors to cut it at the tip. Like this is the skirt we cut out initially. I'm folding it into two. This is the very center of the skirt. So I can just give it a tiny cut at the tip. Like it's folded into two already. Just give it a tiny cut at the tip. That is it. It helps you to find your center easily. So that anything you want to do that has to do any measurement you want to take directly from the center, you can easily get along with it. Like from this notch now, I can pick my dart easily. I can determine the placement of my dart and the rest. So you discover that you need these tiny notches in several places, especially and again when you want to join two pieces together and you want the two to align perfectly well, you can give it notch. Like what we have here on this pattern. Look at this back pattern. This is the back pattern, this is the front pattern. You know, you are going to attach a sleeve to the upper part. If you look at this sleeve part, this is the back part of the sleeve. This is the front part of the sleeve. From this very center line, this center line is representing the grain line of the sleeve. This is the grain line of the sleeve. From here, you fold the sleeve into two and cut. Now, if you want to align this sleeve with the body's pattern, so that there will be no any mistake. Look at this notch. I have two notch to the back, and that is the two notch at the back here. So it means when I'm joining it, this particular part too can also have a notch that will make it to fit into the shoulder. By the time I have joined this front and back together, I now want to fix my sleeve. This center notch will start from the very mid-center of the shoulder. Then I sew this way to align with these two notches for the back. Then I sew the other way to the front too. It will align with the single notch that I have at the front. You can see that there is two notch at the back of the sleeve, the two notch at the back of the body's pattern. Then a single notch at the front, a single notch at the front. It will help me to align my sleeve with my body's pattern. So those are the essence of putting notches on your patterns when you are cutting. You transfer it to the fabric too when you are sewing so that it will make it easier for you. Now the next one are the dots, squares and shapes. You know, it's a means of communication. You know, if you are a team, if a team is working together, within among your teams, you should know what dot means. You should know whatever shape you put, you should know what it means, so that whoever is working next on a project can know what to do with different piece of the design you are working on. Like if I put dots now, it may mean it's like if I put dots here and here, it means start sewing from here and finish sewing, start sewing and end sewing from here. That is that. Then look at these two patterns. This is the front, the basket pattern. This is the front skirt pattern. This is my upper hip and my lower hip line. I put this dot a square, I put this a circle, so that when I want to join the front and the back together, this line, this symbol means that the two must align here. The two must align here. So it's a means of communication. It helps you to understand what to do. It means this must align here, this must align here to bring out my hip shape of the skirt design. So those are the essence of having symbols on your pattern. It helps with your interpretation, it helps with your understanding of what to do with a pattern, how to cut, how to place your pattern this way, that way. All at the end is for you to have a nice fitting finished work when you are done. In this video, we have learned some patterning tools, patterning symbols, and patterning terms. Please like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching.